So we're here in a plane wrecking yard today, and I've just been walking through and seeing all these planes that have been destroyed. Somebody has crashed, and I just can't imagine how many stories there are. I mean, there's hundreds of planes here with hundreds of different stories, I'm sure, of how they were wrecked and what happened. And probably a lot of them were accidents, somebody just being careless or something like that. And I couldn't help but think about our own lives and how we can be careless, that we can just wreck and ruin our lives when we're in charge of our lives, when we give in to our desires. And there's so many stories of people's lives that are ruined, families that are broken apart, people that have just made a mess of their lives. And Jesus took 12 guys who they could have messed up their lives a whole lot, but he takes these 12 guys and he gives them purpose and meaning in life, and they start hungering for Jesus and hanging out with Jesus. And at the end of their time together, after Jesus has died on the cross and was raised again, there's this really cool thing that happens. And it's recorded in John, and it's in chapter 21. And basically all the disciples go out fishing, and they fish all night long, and they don't find a thing. They don't catch a thing. And Jesus is on the shore, and he calls out to them. He says, "Throw your nets on the other side." And so they do that. They throw their nets on the other side, and they catch a ton of fish, and they realize that it's Jesus. And they go to shore, and Jesus is making breakfast, fish and bread, and they sit down and eat together. And then he asks Peter a question. He says, "Peter, do you love me?" And Peter says, "Yeah, I love you." He says, "Then feed my lambs." And then he asks Peter again, "Do you love me?" And Peter says, "Yeah." He says, "Then take care of my sheep." And then he asks Peter a third time, "Do you love me?" And Peter says, "Of course I love you. You know that I love you." And he says, "Feed my sheep." And I think that there's a time in our lives where we hunger for Jesus, we long for Jesus, and then Jesus says, "Okay, you need to teach other people to hunger for me. You need to feed other people. You need to tell other people about how great I am." And so our hunger should produce hunger in other people for Jesus. And so other people can experience how great Jesus is. Other people can experience his love and forgiveness. Other people can experience his purpose for our lives, so that our lives don't become a wreck, don't become just blown all around by our passions and our desires, but they have purpose and meaning because we hunger for Jesus, and we're showing other people how to hunger for him and feeding other people with his word. So that's the question. Do you hunger for Jesus, and does your hunger make other people hungry for Jesus?